It is showtime. What's up, Robin?
Woohoo! Awesome. Well, I'm doing great. How about you, Ronnie?
I'm good.
Oh, so good to be here. Can't believe, the journey it's been and just really, really thankful to be here with you. You're one of my faves.
Welcome to the Hard Earned Knowledge Podcast.
Oh, wow. I love this. Absolutely love it. Yeah, hard earned.
Let me bring us in
You're
then.
not kidding. Woo.
This podcast, for anybody joining us today, this podcast is all about hard earned knowledge. If you read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, in the book, he speaks about people of a certain age will give away all the hard earned knowledge that they've gained over the years freely if you just ask them. Most of us just aren't listening. So I like to bring people on the podcast like Robin, who've got a lot of hard earned knowledge that she can share with us. And
Thanks for that.
if you've looked at the actual intro to this particular podcast, Robin's been doing this a long time and's got a story to share with us today. So I'm excited to have you on. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It means an awful lot to me to be able to share my story and be able to help others become the best that they can possibly be.
You are airborne in the Army.
Airborne all the way.
Jumping out of planes.
Jumping out of those perfectly good airplanes for
Strap up, hook up,
$55
shuffle to the door.
extra a month.
$55.
$55 back in 1978, 79. Can you believe that, Ronnie?
I know we sound old, like, oh yeah, I remember minimum wage was
No,
$4.
we're only as old as we feel. We keep ourselves young by playing basketball and working out, right?
Chasing kids.
Chasing kids, chasing grandkids.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
You're a grandparent too.
I am a grandparent. Yeah.
Well, let's start where it began.
Grandkids. Yeah.
You're from Virginia?
Actually, born and raised in Maryland, and then my senior year of high school, we moved to Virginia, and I graduated from Page County High School in 1975. Figure that out, everybody. How old I am.
Virginia is something else. Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's for lovers.
That's where I'm from.
There you go.
I'm from Lynchburg, VA. Got a few Facebook
Page
friends
County,
on there, but
Stanley.
Yeah.
Welcome, Stanley, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Page County High School, yeah.
And so from there, what did you do? Did you go straight to college?
Actually, I didn't. I went in the Army. I spent a year working as a clerk typist and then decided to join up. It was a real small town. Stanley, Virginia was. The guidance counselors really didn't guide you. And Ronnie, I saw that be all you can be. And I wanted to go to college.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, it really was. And I saw that and I said, I want to be all I can be. So I headed into the Army in September of 77.
Wow.
Right after the Vietnam War. So that was a hard time. Mm-hmm. And I just over the last 5 years have started talking about my time in the military because we just didn't talk about it, as I'm sure a lot of other people know. People know that you just don't. Vietnam veterans just didn't talk a lot about it. So.
They don't.
They don't.
It wasn't a good time when they came back from war.
Yeah, I served with a lot of those guys and gals, and it wasn't a good time for them.
What made you decide to become airborne?
Actually, I was Soldier of the Year for the 96th Civil Affairs Battalion. And from there, they asked me to go back home for hometown recruiter and then airborne training.
So you became a recruiter?
I was a recruiter for just a month.
Wow.
Hometown recruiter for a month back in Virginia. And got 2 people to sign on to be to come into the Army.
Oh, yeah?
And then I came back and they said, we're opening up jump school airborne training at Fort Benning for women. And we'd like for you to be one of the first ones to go.
What year is this?
1978, September of 78.
They opened it up to women in 78.
They unofficially opened it up to women. It's interesting when you Google it or whenever you go on our Alexa. If you don't have one, it might go off. And when you Google it, does say 83.
Okay.
So I have to research that because I went in and graduated in 78.
You've got the wings on your jersey.
I've got the wings.
I mean, your BDUs, yeah.
Yeah, I surely do. So jump school and airborne training. And then what was really an honor was then my commander said for the 96 came to me, or he asked me to come in and he says, we're opening up airborne jump slots and headquarters, 5th Special Forces Group, the Green Berets. Would you like to be one of the first women to hold a jump slot in 5th Group? I went, absolutely.
Wow.
And so it was headquarters. And I was both Colonel Bynum, Colonel McGovern's secretary, clerk typist, did the awards and decorations for 5th Special Forces Group. That was a real honor to work with those Green Berets. Really, real high honor. So, yeah.
What type of plane did you jump out of?
C-141, C-130,
Big ones.
the Hueys. Yeah, helicopter, did a couple of copters, did 2 combat jumps, but they weren't during war. But we wore the rucksack, all the gear, and everything else.
That's a big load.
It was, yeah. And almost jumped into a tree, but I was ready to let go of that rucksack so I wouldn't break my leg.
That's awesome. Well, for all my Army people out there, thank you for your service.
Oh, and thank you. Thanks. I'd do it all over again, kiddo.
Yeah.
I really would. It was an honor to serve my country. I never realized or knew. I went in for myself selfishly to be better at whatever I could be. And now I look back at it and think about the things I did to help pave the way for women. And it just really, it humbles me. And I'm proud of it.
Cool.
Humbly proud of it. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of these entrepreneur questions for the podcast today.
Oh, that sounds great.
We'll just do a little Q&A.
Good.
And you can bring us in with your story. If you guys want to read more about her, there's a big write-up on the dialogue for this. So check it out. I'm going to share your website here, which is my DōTERRA. And then one of your friends, Denise, is on if you want to say hi.
Hey, Denise. How are you, sweetie pie? She's another fellow veteran. She and I are both together. And I'm the secretary of the Women's Army Corps.
Are you?
I'm actually a WAC. WACs became, I hope I get this date right, Women's Army Corps came into existence and we were recognized in the military, in the U.S. Army as a separate group. And I think starting in 1948, but then we disbanded in 1978. And at that point, we became part of the regular Army. But for those 30 years, we were part of the Women's Army Corps, which I am part of as well.
Wow.
So secretary of the Pikes Peak chapter number 75. And
you're still
active. We do a lot of philanthropic things here in the community to help, especially our active duty young troops at Fort Carson and and Peterson Air Force Base. So
good deal.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's where Denise is.
So the first question is, it's more about your entrepreneurial journey. After the military, you decided to pick up this business. How did you get started in DōTERRA?
That's a great question. So 13 years ago, next week, actually, May 27th, 2 of my girlfriends sat me down. I had just completed my time. I opened up Nurse Corps of Colorado Springs and then went to work for Evercare Hospice. And I was overweight. I was on 9 medications. I was going to the emergency room every month and a half, thinking I was having a heart attack.
Really?
But actually what it was, after 6 hours, it was acid reflux. So I went on the purple pill too. And Lisa and Cheryl came to me and they just told me story after story of the power of doTERRA's essential oils. And I said, what do I have to lose? I have everything to gain, nothing to lose.
How many medications were you on?
9.
9 different medications.
9 different medications, yeah. Including high blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure had actually spiked when I was with Nurse Corps, when myself and then State Representative Mark Kluwer were putting together the Nursing Summit. My blood pressure spiked to 240 over 180.
I'm assuming that's high. It sounds high.
Really high, yeah. It's
supposed to be around 120 over 80, right?
That's what it is now. About that. Yeah,
116
over 81 was the last time. It was really high.
That's approaching a stroke.
It really is. So that was one of the things, and it was one of the things that I realized that I needed to get under control.
9 years ago?
And no, 13 years
13.
ago.
Okay.
13 years ago next week. So I Cheryl and Lisa sat me down. They told me about it. I went up and I tried the family physician kit. And I tried the deep blue. I put it on my torn rotator cuff that I'd had for 3 years.
Wait a minute. What's a family physician kit?
It's just one of those
Like a package?
kits. Yeah, a package that you can get with DōTERRA as a new wholesale member.
Okay.
You can like purchase a kit. And now actually the wholesale membership is completely thank you, Ruth. That's my baby sister.
Hey,
Love you,
Ruth.
sweetie. But anyways, so it's just one of the kits that you can purchase. And now as of March, you don't even have to pay a membership with DōTERRA as long as you go through someone like me. And,
So you just order stuff from you.
yeah,
get the
order
kit.
stuff from me, become a wholesale member, and get it all at 25% discount.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
interesting.
But 9 years ago, I was, for lack of a better word, a hot mess. And so I just started realizing that I needed to do something proactive. You got to know too that I had left Nurse Corps and I was now with Evercare Hospice.
Working
So
a 9
that-
to 5, or what was your schedule like?
Actually, it wasn't. I was also, because I was community outreach, I was working upwards of 60 to 70 hours a
Mhm.
week. I not only met with the patients and their families, but I also worked with our doctors, our hospitals, and educating them on hospice care and palliative care and how awesome it can be at that time of life. And also meeting with the families and going over that paperwork.
You were doing all of that.
So I was that first person that they saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw those individuals, God bless them, that quality of life was just not there, Ronnie. And I didn't want that to be like that for me.
Mm.
And when Lisa and Cheryl came to me and told me about DōTERRA, it was my pathway to switching my mindset.
Okay.
And when we can switch our mindset to say, I'm going to be healthy, I am going to be the best that I can be, just like in the Army, that then we can do for ourselves on a day-to-day basis and take care of ourselves naturally.
So
And
that's when
what
you
I did
started this 13 years ago. That's what it
13
took.
years ago. That's what it took.
How long did it take for you to get off the 9 medications?
Oh my gosh, great question. It took a while. I had to work with my doctor at the Air Force Academy for upwards of 10 months. It took me a long time to get there,
Mm-hmm.
to get into those, to have those 9 medications, and a long time to get over 200 pounds, and a long time, just like all of us. So it took me a while.
Pounds?
No, to get over.
Get-
So it took me a while to get back to where I am today.
Okay.
It's not a quick fix. So many of us think that it's a quick fix, but it's actually what you do day to day, Ronnie, that's going to help you to be healthier, to be better at anything
Mm-hmm.
that you do, no matter what you decide to do, whether it's for your health, for your family, whatever that is.
Oh, cool. So about 10 months.
10 months for that one thing, but then it took me a good 7 or 8 years to be where I am now,
Mm-hmm.
and then to continue to maintain. I also had colitis and diverticulitis.
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, diverticulitis. One of my friends in Virginia has it. They had to have surgery and got cut open.
Cyst.
Yeah.
Probably had some cysts on there and they need to remove those. Yeah, diverticulitis is a pretty awful. And I'm not a doctor, nurse,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to diagnose, but I can certainly help support those things that an individual has been, the diagnoses that they've been given by their doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. Diverticulitis is no fun.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to have to mess with it.
Nope. But
So,
you're on the right path. I'm really proud of you,
for what?
because you just told me before we came on, here you were out playing catch up, with the kids from your daughter.
She's talking about last night. I'm
High
playing
school.
basketball. No, she's middle school.
Middle
She's
school.
13.
Whoa, they're
So
even
we
more
have,
dynamic. Yeah.
8 13-year-olds, and we needed 2 coaches to fill in for the pickup game last night, and
5
they
and
ran me
5.
to death.
But were you able to keep up with them?
Oh yeah.
And why is that? Because
Lifestyle.
you do. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I wish a lot more people had that day to day. I want to be the best lifestyle that you have.
It's tough.
It's cool.
It's tough.
It is
I think
tough.
everybody has to find their why and figure out what they want to do.
Absolutely. I love Simon Sinek.
Yeah.
Has
But like
his
they
book.
just got to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, it's not physical. It's like something else. They're reading.
Sometimes, they're reading. It's a lot of different things, but it's also being able to surround ourselves with like-minded people. I think that has a lot to do with it, and that's what helps me to help move people forward.
I think
Really,
you're absolutely
truly
right
does.
about that. I mean, and I think people underestimate the damage of having the wrong people around you causes.
Absolutely.
It's massive damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I like that one. Having the right people around you. That's hard-earned knowledge right there.
Thank you.
So when you first started, what were your major challenges you had to face and overcome? I know you talked about the medication.
Yeah, the medications.
But building your business.
Yeah.
Building your business, not the physical aspect of it.
Ronnie, I never thought that I would build a business like what it is 13 years ago today. When they showed me those oils, I was just doing it to help me. I never thought.
You weren't thinking about building.
Oh,
anything.
no, absolutely not. I was on my own trajectory. I had just come on to hospice care. I was wanting to help people in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
In those moments, I had no inkling. But then when I took these voodoo oils to my dad's, to Father's Day, and then I had my sister try the digestion, Ruth.
Yeah.
And it helped her with her digestive issues. All she did was put a couple of drops in and drink it.
Yeah.
And then my mom and my stepdad, I put lavender on it. My stepdad says, "Ooh, that stinks." And then but then I said, "How'd you sleep last night?" "Wow, I slept like a baby. What is that stuff?" Then I started saying, I've got to share this. If it's helping me, I've got to help me move forward and additionally help others move forward. And I never thought, just by sharing these little bottles of pure, unadulterated oil that's tested 57 different times through third party, that they're completely pure. That's why we can take most of doTERRA's internally. I never thought I'd build a business like I have.
So there's nuts and bolts to it, though.
Absolutely.
So like when you start building the business and this is your motivation and you're looking at the stuff working for your friends and your family and you're like, this is good. I'm going to go to the next step and do this. Yeah. At some point, you got to look at a profit and loss statement. At some point, you got to look at,
absolutely, I did.
Okay, where are we at here? What are we doing? What are we going to build? So what were the major challenges you faced when it comes to looking at the dollars and cents of the business? When you first started out, like, did you leave your 60, 70 hour a week job to build this?
Not until 2013, December 31st of 2013, came in 2010.
So how many years were you doing doTERRA at that point? So 3 years.
3 years, 3.5 years.
So you were using that job to support your family and bills.
Absolutely.
But you were still working on the business for 3 years.
Absolutely. And do you know how hard it is when you do 3 individuals who need hospice care and then you come home and the shift to helping people be healthier? That was hard.
Well,
that was probably my hardest part.
But I'm hearing what you're saying. Like you had to think through that. Like people, this is something people can do that aren't making enough money. They can have a job, but they can also pick up something like doTERRA or whatever you choose.
Whatever you choose
to add more income into your life. And I'm assuming you said 3 years. Did it actually replace your income?
Not in 3.5 years. No.
How many years did it take?
It took me about 7 years.
I love the honesty.
7 years it took me. And now I'm a platinum in doTERRA.
We don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means. So what that means is as you share and help others, doTERRA rewards you
Okay.
5 different times through a very, very healthy commission compensation. And then from there, that's how I was able to replace my income with Evercare Hospice.
So did you quit? Did you give them enough time and notice and say, hey, look, I don't need to do this anymore? I mean, what was
Actually, I
that thought
did.
process about?
It's interesting. We're
7 years.
love corporate America.
7 years you were doing this thing or,
Yeah.
building this thing. And then you finally realized you didn't need to do it anymore.
It's true.
So tell us that story.
So it wasn't. It's 3.5 years.
Okay.
3.5
confused.
years.
You said 3.5 years
It
before
took
you
me
left.
7 years
to replace the
build
income.
to replace the income.
Okay.
Gary and I took that chance, and we said we're going to give it.
This
our
is
all.
even better than I thought.
We're going to give it our all.
Hold on, because you I got to try to keep you. So the thing is, it's like.
Welcome to my world, Ronnie. I know.
Ruth,
I know.
Help me, Ruth. So you started with.
Oh, my mom's on as well.
You started with DōTERRA 13 years ago. You were working at the hospice center 70 hours a week. 3 years in, it took you 7 years to replace the income, but 3 years in, you decided and believed in yourself enough to walk out the door.
Walk out the door.
And you had the support of Gary.
I had the support of my husband, which is really important.
These people that want to be entrepreneurs need to hear this because you can do this in whatever field you choose.
You sure can.
You need that family, the support, but then
it's really important.
You have to believe in yourself and walk out the door. So that's where I want to go. What was that conversation about with Gary?
And
3 years
Gary.
in, yeah, I know him. So 3
Gary.
years in, and you're like, okay, we can do this. I'm going to build this. I don't want to work I can't do 70 hours a week anymore.
Do you know what did it?
What?
When I was at the hospital until 1 a.m. on one night, helping a family get their loved one home before he passed away.
Wow.
He wanted to die
Go home.
At home. And when I got on the call that next morning, and they said to me, we don't know if we can get a nurse to the hospital. I had done everything I could to get, so all she had to do was go out, see the patient. Everything else was done. I'd been in for 4 years already. I knew what the nurses needed. And when they told me that they didn't know if they could get a nurse out there that day to help that family, that's whenever I got off the phone and I threw that cell phone across the room and just burst out crying. And part of it was probably exhaustion, but it took that for me to realize what else and where else can I give that energy to?
Okay. So
what can I do? So Gary comes running down the stairs and we talked, and I said, and this is the 1st of December. I said, honey, I'm done. And he said, yes, you are. So we sat down together. We looked at the plan. We looked at by then I was what we call a silver,
so
a
you're trying to
leader
look
in
at the
DōTERRA.
compensation plan and the
Looked
work
at
you
the
got to put in.
compensation plan, the work I had to put in, how many enrollments I would need to do, but that's become irrelevant. And
it becomes irrelevant with time.
With
but
time,
in that time,
but it
you
was
had to look at the nuts and
important.
bolts
I
of
had
it.
to look at what it would take with enrollments, what I was making then, what we would have to compensate for, or what we would have to change our lifestyle, we would have to give up in order for me to pursue something that would be my own business and where I had control of my own calendar and my own everything.
Yeah.
I had to decide that.
Yeah.
And Gary had to support me.
Right.
So it was me having to decide it, and then Gary come alongside of me and supporting me.
Yeah, because you can't have it knocking heads.
And I have worked with individuals who have that, but then over time, as we see that we can make money in network marketing, that we can, and I am a network marketing professional, that we see that and we have the right company and the right compensation plan and the right belief in what we are selling, then it happens.
Yeah, my company's built on network marketing.
It is. Yes, it is.
That's all it is.
It is.
And so I think people
look
at they look at MLMs in a negative way. I think they do.
Yes, they
And
do.
what we found, if you even read like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad,
Right?
um, he believes that starting off your sales journey in an MLM is one of the best things you can do
It
because it's
is.
really difficult.
It's very difficult.
And if you can
Very
succeed at that, like
difficult.
you could get any sales job in America now,
Absolutely.
knowing how to start from ground one. You already have the roadmap, what you have to
Absolutely.
do every month to be successful and achieve those goals. So that's very inspiring. I think people miss what you're trying to say,
Hmm.
because it
Yeah,
didn't
I think
happen
so
overnight.
too.
It didn't happen overnight. 7 years
No.
was about it took me about 7 years as well, from 2000 to 2007 to achieve a level of income that I was happy with. So it took about 7 years.
And
So,
Ronnie, it's interesting where even with follow-ups with individuals, we give up after the first, second, or third
oh yeah, people
time.
do that.
But if we could only just realize what we have to offer that other person and keep on going back to them in an eloquent, nice way,
Yeah,
it's amazing how they then really come alongside of us eventually. And sometimes it'll take up to 12 times in follow-up
consistency makes
and
sense.
doing it
People don't believe
different
you
ways.
if you're not consistent. Yeah,
That's
I knew
right.
this was a joke. They just walk
Absolutely.
out. So
Absolutely.
I think everybody can get something out of that too. Consistent
Amen.
follow up in a caring way is pretty awesome. If you're you're
And
helping
in different
somebody, it's
ways.
a lot easier.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is we individuals have to believe in ourselves and believe in what we're doing
hmm
and then help get into the process and the mindset of helping others instead of what can it do for me, then how can I help someone else? And then it all comes back to helping myself.
Another thing you said was you don't even think about the money that way anymore because it has a way of doing that to you over
It
time.
does.
Being a entrepreneur, business owner, if you want to sell services, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It starts out hard in the beginning, but eventually you look back and it'll be like, hey, you're making enough money, and it's like, what? You
I
don't
know.
really
It's
think about
like,
it.
what happened here? I was just sharing oils. I was
Yeah.
just sharing supplements.
The money matters,
And
but I think it matters less the longer
does,
you're doing
the
it.
longer you're doing it. It's about that shift in the mindset of helping others as opposed to, I mean, you still think at the end of the month, was it worth it what I did this month financially? Did it still help pay the bills? Did it help do this? And that is realism.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to look at it every month, but you've got to have a
Abs-
quarterly view or a long-term view.
That is so true.
You know.
Absolutely. And I help other people do that as well.
All right, the next question is, what's your favorite self-improvement book? It's been 30 minutes already.
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite self-improvement book? Give the people something that's changed your life.
GoPro.
GoPro
by Eric Worre.
Hold on, let's type it in the chat. Robin
Yes,
recommends
indeedy. GoPro. And it's a network marketing book.
By who?
Eric Worre.
Eric, how do I spell his last name?
Worre. Never heard of it, huh?
No, GoPro by Eric Worre.
Amazing book.
Favorite
Yeah.
self-help book?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you get most out of that book?
I hope I can do this as eloquently as he does right near the beginning of the book, where he talks about there's 3 different types of network marketers. The first one, for lack of a better word, is I want. The second one is I can. And then the third one is I will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my own analogy of it. I know he goes in a little bit, it's different, but which one am I? And it's I can't, I will. It's not I want, it's not I can, but I will. And it's about having that self-confidence in what I'm doing and knowing that through testimonials that they work, and then being able to help more and more people. And then even more and more people achieve a financial freedom as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about that process.
Well, thanks for sharing that book with us. Eric, is that how you pronounce it? Worre or War?
Eric Worre.
I'll have to check it out. All right. This question, I'm always interested to hear from people because I like to hear their answer. What do you love most about being an entrepreneur?
Golly, it's a mouthful. I think the very first thing is I love being my own boss. After being in corporate America for so long and being at the what's the word, disposal of other people, I love working for myself. I love setting my own hours. I love being able to go on vacation with Gary. I love being able to go out and just do things that are part of my mojo. I love helping others to be able to be entrepreneurs. I love helping those next generations be able to realize their worth.
Mhm.
There's so many things that I love about it.
But when you say you like being your own boss,
Yeah.
what does that really mean to you?
I love that question because, a lot of people, you think about the four squares, and being your own boss to me means working for myself. And I'll be honest, not having employees. I don't have any employees. I don't have any boss. I don't have to do payroll. I don't have to do all of those things that being our own boss will sometimes attest to. I
Mhm.
have my own business and I help others achieve their successes, but only if they want to.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes
So
sense?
you really don't think you have any bosses? How many customers do you have? Just a guess.
A lot. Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
So
They're not my
so
bosses.
in my book, you
Yeah.
have 1,000 other bosses.
They don't tell me what I need to do.
But you have to keep them happy.
No.
And you have to serve them, don't you?
But that's true. I do, and I want to serve them. But some will come and some will go, and it's okay.
Are there like 1,000 different personalities you have to work with, right? Answering questions,
Answer
dealing with
questions in
stuff?
my own way. I just give them the information and then they decide what they want to do with it.
That's interesting.
I don't think of them as me working for them.
I do. I'm working for
Yeah.
bosses all the time. I got thousands of them that want different things all the time and
They want
different
things.
solutions.
They want solutions.
Mhm.
And I'm glad they come to me. And when they come to me, I give them the information. Whether they want to use
And
it
then
or
you let them
not,
act on it.
whether they want to use it or not is up to them.
That's
It's
a
not
great freeing thing,
it
you know.
is not my responsibility if they don't use it.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
I'm just the pathway to natural solutions. I'm just the pathway. And that doesn't mean just doTERRA though. If they have an idea about something we're going to research it together if I don't know anything. Because I'm not just one that doTERRA is the all and end all, but that's why I love being part of an entrepreneurial group of individuals, because then I can refer them to someone that's going to help to relieve their stress
Okay.
or help them with, alignment of their back or, those different things.
All right. So, what about your favorite success story?
Oh, wow.
I know you got a lot of them, but
Yeah. Well, and that's hard for me because I'm a futuristic person. So testimonials, I even had someone say to me one time a couple of years ago, you need to write a testimonial book so that you can go back and look at how and what you've done for other people. Because that's not my mojo. I just help them because I love them, because I care about them. I think, so I'm going to make this personal. And I think the one success story is that after even 10 years of having a trach, my mom, and we celebrated 10 years of her having a trach, she's still alive. And I really do believe that the products and the supplements that she uses with doTERRA, along with her taking good care of her trach, has really helped her to live as long as she has.
okay.
And my mom's one of my best friends.
How old is your mom now?
She's 85. She'll be 86.
And
Sorry,
she
Mom.
still has a tracheotomy in?
She's still 10 years
Wow.
in April. And it was from secondhand smoke
Wow.
and throat cancer. And it helps her to breathe. But because of the products with DōTERRA.
It's been helping her with her quality of life. And
Absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, I mean, personal testimonials are the most powerful things on the
They
planet.
are. I've got to do one with her, but we keep shying away from it.
Why?
Just do it. I don't know. Mom, you'll have to answer that.
Is
She's
she on here?
watching. Willie Shanian. Hey, Mommy.
You have to bring her on the video.
Yeah.
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 Well,
That
that's
would be
cool.
awesome.
I'm glad she's still with us and everything's going
Me
well.
too. Me too.
Cool. All right. What about I like this
Mm.
little chess move. There's a book I have over here by Patrick Bet-David. It's called
Yeah.
Your Next 5 Moves, right? So business
Yeah.
is chess.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And so if you're still growing your business or always working to get better, what are your next 5 moves? Do you have them planned out for 23?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you got?
In January,
I'm writing it down. Hold
every
on.
year, and every year I do
Just give me 5.
a vision board.
Okay.
So important. So the very first one is, as I leave Business Networking International, I am going to have other entrepreneurial places that I can just tap into, because I think that being around other like-minded individuals is really cool for
The
me.
billionaire skill set you're talking about right now is networking.
Networking.
You're going to
Absolutely.
continue. So
Gonna
you're
continue networking.
continue to network and grow your network.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's a big one for people out there.
Absolutely, it is.
That overlook it, like the
They
network.
really do.
They hear all the cliche things. Your network is your net worth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like being able to pick up the phone and somebody answers it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With information that you need or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think people just really overlook the power of networking.
I think they do too.
And I wish they would come out with that book. I saw this one video where a guy was like, he interviewed like 5 billionaires.
Yeah.
Billionaires with a B, right?
Mhm.
To say that so they hear it. And it's like,
with a B.
yeah.
How many zeros is that, everybody?
And he asked them what was the one thing, and they were like, networking. And so when you hear it over and over and over again, it's like, well, and you said it early in the podcast, like whoever you're around is going to dictate where you're going.
Absolutely right.
Or it's going to hold you back or make you go backwards.
Whoever you surround yourself with.
Yeah. So like, I like that you've got that down for number 1. Networking that's number 1.
That's key.
Expand networking. All right. What's number 2?
And to add to that, just real quick, networking is being in front of people. Networking is picking up the phone. Networking is collaboratively working person to person, Zoom to Zoom, whatever that might be, all over the world for me now.
Yeah, you can be global. You can have a global network.
I'm an international organization now, and it's just so humbling that it's reached far and wide that way.
Nice.
So the second one's personal development. I think for me, it's
Did you pick
very
my books? Personal development.
We've always been like-minded. Ronnie, we've known each other for 4 years.
I overlooked. Go ahead. Personal development. What are you
personal
planning
development.
On with that?
So with that, actually my sister Ruth and I just talked about that this week, and there is a phenomenal, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Strengths, Clifton Strengths. And when we live in our strengths, 100%, we do live in our strengths 100% of the time, we can accomplish anything. And for me, there's 4 different kinds: influencer, strategic, executing a relationship. I'm an influencer, and I love to move people forward. And so for me, personal development is looking at that. This next step is looking at that, deciding, what do I want to do with that? Do I want to join a 5.0 coaching? Or do I want to hire a personal coach? I don't know. That's in my realm for this next week to decide. And still picking up those books. I love a good book in my hand.
Okay.
But whether it's that or a podcast or whatever that might be, personal development also includes my 35 minutes a day with my devotions with God. And it's just
trying to be better version of yourself.
Better version of myself.
You can get it a lot of ways too. I mean, you can read it. Some people like to hold the book.
That's right.
Audible. You can listen to books. I love the podcasting. I'm like always listening to a podcast now.
Yeah, I'm just starting to learn that. And YouTube.
Now
that I have my new car. Yeah, it's so much.
We are on the tail end of the information age, but the information is available everywhere.
It is.
You could go Google whatever you want. Absolutely. And now they're going to make recommendations for us.
They are.
And before you know it,
Absolutely.
you're just going to wake up and say, what do I need? And it's going to just print it all out for you. Well, not
That's
print,
true.
but spit it
But
out on
spit
your
it
phone.
out on your phone.
Or just talk through Alexa.
Or talk through Alexa or Siri.
Ronnie, you know you need to pray before you leave, you know?
That's right. Okay, God, I hear you.
Yeah, it's going to be Alexa. So what's number 3?
So number 3 is my whole goal for 2023, while I'm serving all of my wholesale customers, I am truly trying to find my ninja on being able to have other people that want to do what I'm doing. I want them to, these oils and products have to be shared with the world.
Mm-hmm.
One drop, one person, one family at a time. They have to be. Our healthcare is broken. And if I can find like-minded individuals that can be a part of this mission, I would love, love, love to be able to help them move
So how
on
do you
their
put
journey.
that into a bullet point here? Is that build your team?
Build my team.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Grow a
Build my
team.
wellness advocate team. Grow my team.
Build your
Grow my
what do they call it in your industry? A downline or build your
wellness, downline
Mhm.
wellness advocates.
It's not a bad word.
No,
You know what else?
absolutely.
You know what else is a major MLM?
What's that?
Life insurance. People don't think about it. It's
Yeah.
It's
Well,
exactly the same.
yeah,
Like they
well,
run it
yeah.
with multiple tiers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about training the next leadership, what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. And that's a great thing to say. What I want to do is I want to train the next leadership.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I need to write that down. Train the next leadership. That's
Yeah.
is that my third one?
Grow your team.
Yeah, train next leadership. There you go. I love that.
So what's number 4?
Number 4 for business moves is it's just I think it's important to continue to do the things that I'm doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Evaluate the things that are not doing so well. Determine it and then move forward with that.
You mean like get rid of those things?
Get rid of. So it's about a matter of peaks and valleys of what's the word I want to use? Just, being willing to give up the things that aren't working.
It's a hard thing to do for people.
It is hard to do.
Yeah. I mean,
it is hard.
Like we're in this age now where what we're on right now, Facebook and YouTube, and people say, I don't want to do that. I like doing it the old way. And it's like, well,
they do, but it's a balance.
But you can use the word and you can still do the old things.
Right. You can.
And you can go do a Facebook posting.
I still love to get together and do wellness consults one-to-one with individuals. And I love doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
And I love doing social media. I'm on all of the social media platforms, including TikTok.
Me too.
I know. 7 I don't do anything with it, but I go on periodically.
Yeah,
I should. I know.
It's a
maybe
thing.
That should be a goal. The next big move.
I would say, for 23, like, it's something that I fight with too. Like, you guys think I'm on social media all the time. I'm not, but I want to be because I believe that I should have done it 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so what are we going to sum up and call this number 4 thing? You said figuring out, like analyzing your business and your life and figuring out what's working, what's not working. And so what are we going to write down as a bullet point for number 4?
Yeah, good question. So I think to bring it all together, the biggest is to continue to move forward envisioning what my business, Ronnie, envisioning what my business looks like today and what it will look like tomorrow. So today and tomorrow.
I don't know if I can get that into a bullet.
I know. Golly.
Let's go to number 5. What's number 5 going to be?
Oh my gosh. Now I'm stuck on 4. So we go to 5. No problemo. So 5 is actually social media.
Oh,
I think
what does that mean?
Yesterday, actually, I did a podcast with Josh.
Okay.
Right at his office. And I was thinking about Josh Wolf. And I thought, why can't I set up one-to-ones? I pulled up my phone, I went on Facebook, and he talked about his business.
It's easy.
It
It's
is
just like what we
so
just did, yeah.
easy. And his partner, Brad, yesterday was so cool. He said, "You mean you got Josh to be on there?" And I said, "I didn't give him any yes or no. I didn't even ask. I just
Did
did it." And he said, "That's good." Josh did a phenomenal job.
It leaves us a record. You can go back and look it over. You can
Absolutely.
reach so many more people. Like the
Yes.
thing about the podcast is you can do it now,
Right.
but like 15 people might watch it next year on a Thursday. You don't know.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so that's
And you
good.
can, yeah.
I would
So
like to
that's my-
see you go through that journey because I believe us older people should be on there
Yeah, me too.
representing.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah, you got a lot of hard-earned knowledge.
Yeah,
You've got a lot of hard-earned knowledge.
There we go. Absolutely.
That's great. 5 things.
Yeah, well, thank
you still
you.
got to
We'll have
flesh out
do
number
food.
4.
We really do. Yeah, or I do.
You do.
I
That's
do.
your
It's
plan.
my plan, right?
I got it written out here, but you got to plan that out.
My business plan number 4. How can I
Get rid of the stuff that's not working.
Yeah.
I think that you could sum it up with let go. Like I think that we have a hard time letting go of.
We really do.
That'll hold you back from getting on social media. Like you got to let
Absolutely.
go of all these fears. Or
Right.
TikTok's going to get banned. You know what they say about TikTok getting banned? Let's say if you got 100,000 people following you, they're talking about it.
Oh, okay.
If you've
See,
got
I don't follow that
100,000
part
people
about it.
following you on TikTok and it gets banned, it'll just go to Instagram. So
There
you
you
need
go.
to do Instagram and TikTok
I do.
and Snapchat
There you
and
go.
LinkedIn
And LinkedIn.
Facebook.
And Facebook.
What are the other ones?
Golly. What are the
Snapchat.
Snapchat. I'm on that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm on all of the same ones.
The goal is not to end up like the insurance commercial. I'm going to take you off of my Facebook wall over here. Let me pull you down.
I know.
It's like, no.
Don't unfriend someone.
You
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but like they literally were putting pictures on the wall. Like, this is my Facebook. You got to do better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching.
Everybody should be your friend. And I think to sum it all up, I guess we've got just a little bit of time, but this has been really good, Ronnie. It helps me to be able to help others.
Yeah.
And that's my mojo.
Well, you can download this on your Facebook. I can share it with you once it's posted, and you can do it with it as you wish.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I'm glad Ruth came on and your mom. I didn't know your mom was going to be here. That's cool.
Ruth and mom and don't know who else. Denise Lowe is here, and there might even be a couple of other people if they are. Hello.
Nice.
And for in the future too.
Well, how do they get a hold of you if they want to call you or get a hold of you to order products or discuss the business opportunity of DōTERRA?
So we did my Facebook page. That's great. I certainly don't mind phone calls. I think each individual needs to be, if we want to do it right, we need to be accessible to individuals, and we also need to set the times that we're accessible. So what I mean by that is my home phone or my business number is 719.
Hold on. Contact Robin. At
719-641-7892. Gosh, we gave you the website. You can certainly go on and learn more about it. I think that it's real important. And please know that if I don't answer the phone, that I do have business hours, and that's important. And I also will get back with you. Follow up, and we talked about this at the beginning, is key. If you have or someone else who has a health concern, then, and you have whatever you have, let's look at it naturally. Let's look at something that might be better than, like I was, spiraling downwards and on medications. It's a powerful story. And on medications. Yeah. It's one that I am where I am now and healthy, off of all my medications, weight down. I mean, looking great, skin well, stomach issues good, flat belly, just all of those things that help me to be healthier for me.
Yeah.
And then also for my family and my friends.
Well, cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing this with us today. And if you guys want more hard-earned knowledge. We're going to be coming back. We've got like 11 people lined up through our networking group. So over the
Not
next few weeks,
surprising.
I'm excited to learn
That's
more about them.
great.
What I get out of this is I learn from you guys.
Yeah.
I think that us
Yeah.
older people need to keep that
We really do.
sponge open.
Yes, we
so
certainly do.
I love that, the big takeaways for me is it took 3 years to even start thinking about I can replace my income. And then it took 3 years to also build up that muscle to say I can do this. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then another
Absolutely.
4 years to be profitable. Most people don't want to put in that time. The universe
give up.
they'll
They
test
give
you.
up.
The universe
Yeah.
will test you,
Mhm.
and it'll ask you every day, do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
And
They'll
it's
give
okay
up.
if you say no. It's okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
think you got to be a little crazy to make things happen.
I don't know if I like the word crazy, or maybe I do, but I think we just have to really put our step forward in realizing what we want to do, and then surround ourselves with like-minded people.
Doing what I'm doing requires you to be crazy, or you know what I tell
I
my
love what
team?
you're doing.
They asked me, well, what was your muscle? How'd you get so strong? I said, no, I was just too stupid. I didn't take another opportunity and do something else. I just kept plugging away.
You did.
You
But
know,
so did
and
I.
so that's what I mean
But it
by crazy.
worked.
It's like I'm
It's
really
worked.
crazy.
And it's
So,
worked.
so far so
Yeah.
good. We'll see
you're
how
a
it
great
goes.
you're a great leader.
I'm
And
a
you
leader in
really
training.
help other people. I am too. I think we can all profess to be doing things and being the best that we can possibly be. So leader in training, whatever that
You
might
can always
be,
get better.
we can always get better. Amen.
Yeah. Good job, Robin.
You're
Thanks
awesome.
for coming on.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Airborne Army
Yeah.
veteran. If you guys want more info, we put a lot in the chat for you to
We
connect with
did.
her.
Yeah.
Really
Love to
appreciate
help.
you if you tune in and watch this video. I know it's an hour long, but hopefully you got some tidbits that you can use for yourself.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Don't
We'll be
give
back
up.
soon.
Yeah. Don't give up. And if you need a cheerleader, give me a holler.
Give her a holler. You set text messages too?
Absolutely.
All right,
On that
guys.
same phone number.
Hit up Robin.
Good
Have
to
a
see
great
you
day.
guys. Bye-bye.